Hi, I'm talking today to Simon Rose. Simon is a UK optometrist. Hi, Simon. Thank you so much for letting me interview you for Askimo's International Library of Interviews with Experts.
Good morning from London. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. Simon, today we're going to start off with talking about orthokeratology. So let's start off with what is orthokeratology?
That's a good opening question for so early in the morning. Orthokeratology is a very fancy name for reshaping your cornea to allow you to be spectacle and contact lens free during the day. I like to call it wake and see because it does what it says on the tin. Orthokeratology is a combination of ortho, which is change, and kera, which is the cornea. If you went to have some orthodontistry, that would help you explain what we do to eyes. It's a non-permanent shape change of the cornea epithelium itself. It's very gentle, and it only changes a few microns, a few millionths of the tissue, and it only changes it for about a day or so.
And can orthokeratology be done on children and adults, or only one or the other?
Orthokeratology is not age dependent. We do it on young people, children. It's even been done on babies, and we can treat myopia right through the age range. We can treat people's short-sightedness right up until any age.
Tell me a little bit about the science behind wake and see and how it works.
There's quite a lot of data to support orthokeratology. We've actually really been doing it for a rather long time, even though the data, the latest and proper data is not that old. The first sort of reports of orthokeratology took place that I've read in the 50s and 60s, and there is some sort of anecdotal data from optometrists fitting the original glass contact lenses many years ago, even up to pre-war. The science behind it now is quite clear. We have topographical data and pachymetric or corneal thickness data to support what's actually happening. What is actually happening is we're redistributing the corneal epithelium, which is the layer of cells that is on top of your cornea, and we're doing this only by a very small amount. We're just shifting that corneal tissue from the center outwards to create a small negative zone, or negative, almost a negative contact lens, gently on your cornea. When you look at these profiles that you see created by the equipment that we have to measure this, you can quite easily see very similar profiles being created in comparison to refractive surgery corrective procedures using lasers. So we are actually doing what the lasers do, but without any surgical intervention, and it's only temporary, so it's relatively risk-free.
When do people use the shells? Do they have to use them every night?
The treatment shells, the wake and see treatment shells, orthokeratology lenses, in the main, people use them every night. It very much depends on the plasticity of your cornea, how much memory it's got, how quickly it likes to go back. And I have patients that do not wear their treatment shells every night, but some patients have to.
What are the benefits to using the wake and see?
The benefits of wake and see are several. Wake and see technology, or orthokeratology, allows the subject to be spectacle and contact lens free, that is device free all day, with good vision, if not excellent vision. It means you do not have to have a surgical intervention, and it is an option that is not often discussed with patients when they are with the optometrist, because sadly not all optometrists offer this service. One of the other advantages we're now discovering is a possibility of myopia control. This is a very, very big deal for parents whose children are short-sighted. And very often both parents are quite short-sighted, and these parents are quite mindful of their child's myopic development, and they're fairly keen to be able to find something for that child that might mean they are less short-sighted than their parents. This is very important stuff. The data is quite recent, but there is data to support that orthokeratology and Wake and See may reduce myopic load. It may reduce the myopic outcome of that person.
Is there anybody who wouldn't be a good candidate for the Wake and See product?
Wake and See and orthokeratology has theoretical limits of around -4.5 units of myopia or short-sightedness. That's -4.5. We do see treatment outside of these areas, and that is really pushing the limit and the boundaries of the current technology. The reason for this is the cornea only has a finite thickness on its corneal epithelium, and the raw calculations of movement of the tissue mean that there's a limit to how much we can move before you break through below those thicknesses. And these calculations are fairly unnegotiable. If you look at some of the technology and calculations being used in laser refractive surgery, these formulas are really they can be varied. There are ways of going beyond the 4.5, and I do have patients very successful outside of 4.5, but one must be mindful and must modify expectations outside of these. But one can read quite often. I have patients that we can treat outside these zones, but we just need to be realistic.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Lovely. What